I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Thanks for hanging with us on a Tuesday. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. 100.7 The Score mobile app. Keep your thoughts coming in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll return to a few of those coming up shortly. Actually, let's get to those right now. Dear Chois, how are you? I am fine. Is the Tour de France the most underrated event of the summer?
Tour de France.
If you want to get down to flat-out athletes, cyclists are hard to beat. Thank you for all the yellow jersey and King of the Mountain jersey talk that you give us, Gordo. P.S. Please tell Clint and one Chris Snead that Gordo hopes they're having a great Bobby Bonilla day.
I am. I'm actually having a pretty good Bobby Bonilla day. I think that for pure athletes, he's not wrong. I think we can't. It would be hard pressed to find a pure athletic, other than maybe cross country or marathon runners.
Decathletes are probably up there.
Decathletes, guys that are just. But from a pure stamina, and I mean, what they're doing is not super athletic. They're riding the bike. They're not performing. They're not jumping the bike over gorges or anything like that. But they're just riding that bike. But I mean.
Oh, it's nuts.
It is nuts.
There are certain people I look at and think you are a nut job just because you enjoy or want to do this stuff. Cyclists that do.
You ride Peloton at all?
Yeah.
So I mean, are you?
I don't like the stationary stuff.
I don't like stationary stuff either. But I mean, some people are better when they are seated. I am a more productive rider when I am out of the saddle.
It's standing. Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I mean, and yes, it's people say it's it's easier to do it, but it's harder to get power. You have to utilize your legs more to get more power when you're standing.
Someone chimes in and says water polo players are studs.
I agree.
Those are in the nut job category for sure.
Yeah. If you ever watched water polo and just watch the underside camera of the leg movement for those people on water polo, those
crazy.
Guys. Yeah, I bet you those guys are like the Phelps folks and they're just eating like 10,000 calories a day.
Also cross-country skiers.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, those guys are crazy too. Okay, so Brett McMurphy has he's posted a tweet. No need to wait till the 4th to celebrate an early birthday present for America. The initial bowl rankings or bowl projections.
Okay.
For his, oh my gosh, now it's going to make me log in. Don't you love that? The initial bowl projections we will get to in a little bit once I can log in. That's the worst, yeah. First, Snead, I'm going to tell you. I'll flip-flop what I was going to do here. First, I'm going to tell you I view the Texas Rangers right now.
Wait a second. Are you still logging in and telling me?
No, that's going to flip to next second.
Okay.
Now that I'm figuring this out. We're going to talk Rangers in a little bit, but now we're talking Rangers right now.
I wasn't ready for that.
I view the Texas Rangers, Snead, as... You ever been to a water park?
Yeah.
Okay. In the kids section, most of them have that giant bucket.
Yeah, the bucket.
The giant bucket that dumps all over you.
Yeah.
Right now, the Rangers are full of water and just teetering. I mean, they are right there on the edge of tipping over.
And being bad.
Of this season going away. Giving out. And unfortunately, with those buckets, there's no drain. They've got to tip over for it to finish off. The more I watch this team, the more I take it in, I've tried to convince myself, okay, the good is still coming. The good is around the corner. You've got too many good players on this roster. You've got too much good starting pitching.
Yeah, it would be a shame to waste all the starting pitching on this.
Legitimately, you look at the rotation. when healthy, and you look at the numbers your starters have put up, and you say that's a rotation that could legitimately go make some real noise in the postseason. Unfortunately, it's not a team that's going to get to the postseason at this point.
Well, here's the thing that I do hold my hat on, is that the AL West is so bad, Central, is so bad that West, and that
it is West.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a second. That no one has really taken control of it, and even the Astros, who have played best, they're only in a 5-6 game lead right now, and you kind of feel like somebody is an 8-game win streak or a 12 out of 15 away from taking control of this division and running away and hiding. Because there's just no – I mean, the Astros, for as good as they have been in the month of June, they hadn't really run away and hid from anybody. And Seattle's been kind of right there in the mix, but, I mean, you saw what they did with the Rangers. They didn't do anything special. And, the Rangers – have played, 500 baseball, but they seem to always lose on the wrong day, and they never win on the right day.
Right.
And that's they get a great pitching performance, and then they can't get a hit. You score 16 runs on the day that your pitcher doesn't need to. It's one of those deals. It just never seems to work out right for them. Somebody in this division, and I'm including the A's, who are 12 or so games out of it, is going to win 15 out of 18 and just get on a tear in the month of July.
Yeah.
And that's going to, I think everyone's sitting around waiting for that. I think Chris Young's waiting for that. Bruce Bochy's waiting for that. All the fans are waiting for that. Everyone is waiting for that 15 of 18 that's got to be out there somewhere, because the trade deadline's coming up, and I think Chris Young and Bruce Bochy and everybody involved is doing everything in the world to make sure that they can be a buyer and not a seller. Because, I mean, think about this. I mean, you would get picked up. I mean, if you become a seller, say goodbye to that rotation. I mean, just say goodbye to DeGrom, say goodbye to Evaldi. And I never thought I would ever say this about DeGrom as a Texas Rangers fan, because I thought it was a bad signing, and for 2.5 years I thought it was bearing out correctly. But
man, he's been money.
He's been as money, and he's the guy that you thought you were getting 3 years ago or 2 years ago. And I'm glad he finally did it. I wish he had done it 2 years ago. Point being, at the end of the day, I think this team is still, because of the wild card. You're only a game and a half, 2 games out of the wild card right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really out of the postseason talk, and you don't even have to get on a 15 of 18 to take over the wild card. You only have to get on get on a 5-game win streak. You could be right there in the thick of the wild card.
Yeah, I think that when I look at this team, it's just. There's still hope. I mean, we've crossed the halfway point of the season.
Yeah.
Right? You've crossed that halfway point. I think you and I sat here a couple of weeks ago and said you need to be within 5 games of the Astros. You need to be within 5 games of first place by the All-Star break, which is 2 weeks away from now. I think it's 2 weeks away from today. So it's July 15th. So I think it is
July
a Tuesday.
15th is Wednesday, isn't it?
No, it's a Tuesday.
Is it?
Yeah.
I just thought, I just booked a meeting on the wrong day. I just booked a meeting
twice you've
on
done
the
this.
wrong day.
So I guess
I don't need that to be recorded, Clint.
I still hold out a tiny
jeez, I did.
amount of hope. I still hold out that much hope that, okay, Rangers could get hot for a little bit. Astros may fall back a little bit. And if you can get within 5 games 2 weeks from now, then
That's the reason why you have the hope, because you've been playing just, horse blank 500 ball, and you're still not out of it. And the Astros have played not as well. I mean, they hadn't been great, but, I mean, they're not running away and hiding from anybody. That's why I say this whole division is an 8-game win streak away from someone just really taking off. And just hang around. And, the Astros have done a good job of letting everyone in the division, and that includes the A's, hang around. The A's are not out of this.
Y'all tell us what you think. Your thoughts, your comments, your questions, all of it. Welcome on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll return to some of that coming up on 100.7 The Score.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Thanks for hanging with us on a Tuesday. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. Chois Woodman and Chris Snead with you in the First United Bank studio. Y'all continue to hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll get back to a few of your thoughts coming up shortly. But first, no Kaylee's Dailies today.
No Kaylee's Dailies. Kaylee is covered up. She said she will have one tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll get one
and we'll
tomorrow.
probably get a bonus one on Friday.
Okay, so now we have Brett McMurphy's first bowl projections. We're sitting here July 1st.
Yep.
It's a silly process, but I'm fine
the year
with
is
it.
half over.
Yeah.
I mean, we're less than
2 months from playing football.
Yeah, why wouldn't you have one? Is it way too early? No.
It's just too early.
It's not.
Not way.
Okay.
Hey,
so
right,
Choice, I hold it here in my
you
formerly
got it.
nicotine-stained fingers. My
You used to smoke?
I used to dip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I knew you used to. You done?
No, I started and I stopped and I started and I stopped. After the last can I finished on this trip, I said this is the last one.
Are we stopped currently?
I'm currently stopped and I'm not taking any on the boat.
Attaboy. Okay, go on. Tell us. Let's go through Big 12 teams.
Okay, all right. The first Big 12 team to show up, Holiday Bowl.
Okay.
Arizona State versus SMU.
So they're not playing.
We're going back. Hang on. No, I'm going in the wrong direction. I was going on the. So let's start with the.
Down south.
On December 13th, we're going to see. Let's see. You're going to go Veterans Bowl, Cure Bowl, December 17th. UCF versus USF. Ooh,
UCF gets in a bowl game.
That's the Battle of I-4 right there.
Hey,
Central versus South Florida.
That would actually be a really fun bowl game to watch.
Yeah. The next Texas Tech. Oh, sorry. The next Big 12.
War on I-4. Right?
The War on I-4.
Yeah.
I've done that arena game.
Okay.
They do not like each other. Let's see. The Rate Bowl. The Guarantee Rate Bowl.
This one's in
December
Phoenix.
26th, TCU versus Minnesota.
Okay.
Okay. You down with that?
I'm liking these projections so far.
Let's see. Next Big 12 team to show up. Ooh.
Uh-oh. Tear the Band-Aid off.
December 27th, Pop-Tarts Bowl. Texas Tech versus Louisville.
I mean, again, we're all wanting Texas Tech to end up in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
But the Pop-Tarts Bowl is usually the loser of the Big 12 championship.
I say, show me what that season looks like, because there's a good chance you're second or third in the conference.
Yeah.
The two projections I've seen so far, the Athlon one, I don't hate the Alamo Bowl because that's a third place in the Big 12 game.
Yeah.
And if you played USC, I think I would take either scenario.
Well, rounding out the Big 12 folks, Texas Bowl, Oklahoma versus Iowa State.
Okay.
The Birmingham Bowl, Missouri versus Oklahoma State. That's a lower bowl.
Brett McMurphy's an OSU grad. He took OSU to a bowl game this year.
The Independence Bowl. This is interesting given the news we got yesterday. BYU versus Jacksonville State.
I mean, that could be a 6-6 BYU.
Cougars versus Cox right there. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Make the T-shirt.
T-shirt.
I can. Clem's T-shirt stand.
Alamo Bowl, December 30th, USC versus K-State.
Nah.
Sun Bowl.
Okay.
Florida State versus Colorado. This is a year, I believe the Sun Bowl is back in.
No, not yet, because Colorado still goes to a Pac-12 bowl game, and that's where.
I thought that ended last year.
No, that it's a 2-year thing. So next year the Pac-12, I guess, will assume with all those new teams those bowl games, or they'll
I thought the Big 12 assumed the Sun Bowl was coming into the Sun Bowl.
Not yet.
Yeah, well.
So Colorado is going as a Pac-12 team.
Yeah, that stunts.
That.
Armed Forces Bowl, January 2nd, Kansas and Army. How about that? Woo! Liberty Bowl, January 2nd, South Carolina and Baylor. South Cackalack.
I don't know if I'm keeping track, but I think we're at 9 teams right now.
Holiday Bowl, TBA. Date TBA.
Okay.
SMU and Arizona State. Okay, so.
That's a lot of Big 12 teams.
That's a lot of Big 12 teams. College football playoffs.
Let's go. Wait, by process of elimination.
Oh, boy.
Let's see.
Neither of you nor I are going to like what's about to be said.
It's Utah.
Yes.
Based off of what you haven't said.
In the number 11 seed, Utah facing Clemson. At Clemson.
So they've got them also, another thing I don't like, the 11 seed.
Yep.
Which means they've got to go to Clemson. Which that's what's going to stink. If you got a team that is less than 11 regular season wins, and this is a stupid thing, less than 11 regular season wins, they're going to keep you out of one of the top 8 spots.
Yep.
And
so there you go.
It's dumb.
There you go.
Because you cannot tell me a 10-2 Big 12 team is not superior to a 10-2 Clemson team.
Look at this. I mean, as they show all the bowls up here, they show the Rose, the Capital One Orange, Allstate. They got the Pop-Tarts Bowl in there with there.
It's because the Pop-Tarts Bowl is so popular.
The Pop-Tarts Bowl, the Cheez-It Bowl, and the Duke's Mayo Bowl were all included in with the cotton, peach, orange, sugar, and rose. And I look over there, and there's the Pop-Tarts Bowl logo. I was like, well, okay. So are you the best of the rest? If Pop-Tarts Bowl right now.
I mean, Pop-Tarts
10-2 Texas Tech team in a Pop-Tarts Bowl. You taking it right now?
Not taking it, no. But would I be happy with it then? Yeah, it'd be the best season you've had in
I'm not
a really
taking
long
that.
time. No, I'm not taking it.
I'm not taking that.
But if that's what you end up with, there could be a lot worse.
Well, I would say that the Utah game is – they're now telling us that if Retzlaff ends up at Utah, that Utah's becoming a
I think Utah's already – Texas Tech, Utah, and Arizona State are the Vegas favorites to win the league.
Yeah. So you better just go up there and kick some of that tail.
I think that they're telling you that Texas Tech and Utah are rematching in the Big 12 championship is what they're telling you. And then Tech will lose probably again based off of what Brett McMurphy has forward. Here's the
so you're telling us Texas Tech, a 10-2 Texas Tech team will actually be a 10-3 team.
10-3 with a Big 12 loss, yeah.
Well, would you be an 11-2 team? Would you rather be that? Say 11-2 right now, 2 losses to Utah.
I think you would still have a chance to get into the playoff at that point. If you're 11-1 in the regular season, it's going to give you a chance to get in. That's one of the rare scenarios that the Big 12 could land 2 teams in the playoff.
Would be depending on how it went down, that would be the SMU Clemson situation from last year.
Yep. It would. Here's a text. Not saying it's a good one. Tech is not going to a bowl this year. They will spare it up again. I will bet you anything you want.
Anything you want to bet. I will tell you anything you want to bet. You put your money where your mouth is, big guy.
It's the bottom line on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Hey, what's good? Happy Tuesday. Good afternoon and welcome. It's the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app, powered by Happy State Bank, or watchable on TV. Fox 34 News now. YouTube, Fire Stick, Roku, Apple TV, however you're taking us in. We are thrilled that you've chosen to make us part of your Tuesday afternoon. We being myself, Chois Woodman, alongside Jamie Lint. Y'all can keep hitting us up if you'd like to do so. Your thoughts, comments, questions, all of it welcome on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Through that 100.7 The Score mobile app. which you can take just about anywhere with you, even listening out in Cuckoo, Virginia.
Cuckoo.
So close to Kukoc.
Crazy for Kukoc.
I am cuckoo for Kukoc. Do you remember that commercial that I showed you that one time?
I do remember that. It's funny. I feel like Clint has just sent this to me. I just now, as the show started, got an email. The YMCA of the USA, parentheses, the YUSA. The National Resource Office for the 2,600 YMCAs across the country is excited to announce what, Choice?
I have no idea.
The very first YMCA National Pickleball Tournament.
Yes!
November the 7th through the 9th in Naples, Florida. Can delete that email.
Are we attending as a show?
It seems like another great place for you to go vacation.
Participating?
Mm-hmm. You should.
No, you and me.
Mm-mm.
I think you and I need to get together a pickleball team.
You think so?
Just you and me. I don't know how much of a team that is, but we should. I think we can do this.
Okay.
I don't know what we're waiting on necessarily.
My desire to play pickleball?
Oh,
that probably factors in.
You know, I don't know how much desire you have to do the show, and you do it anyway, so might as well just...
No, they pay me to do this show.
Okay.
And plus somebody needs to be here to babysit you and Clint. I cannot trust you two alone.
How about just Clint?
Hit the baby.
So I think I'll start paying you if we win. I'll give you all our prize money for... No, I can't give you all of it. $75.25.
You do pay us the money.
$75.25 on prize money for pickleball.
Okay.
You're in?
Sure.
You heard it. Everybody heard it here first. All right.
Sorry, I was having to work on something. So Jamie is sponsoring you're in my pickleball team. Is that what's happening?
No, that was...
You're sponsoring Jamie and I's pickleball team?
He's playing with me, and you're sponsoring us.
No. I think Clint had it right.
You'll sponsor us?
No, I'll let you guys play on a team together. And I'll take a Double T 97.3 sticker and put it across the back of your T-shirt that you got at Clint T-shirt stand for free. They were comped.
Can we change our name to Lintertainment if we're sponsored by you?
No.
Why?
Because I don't want my name attached to any...
But you get name, image, likeness out of it.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Nope.
Lintelman.
Okay. Keep going, Clint.
Lintograms.
Jeffy, you don't seem like you're super happy on...
How about giving up tennis for Lent? There you go.
That's actually fantastic. We're playing pickleball, so giving up tennis for Lent. Oh, could you do that?
Could I give up pickleball? Or
No,
excuse me, tennis for Lent?
I know you could give up pickleball for Lent.
Yeah, I probably could. I could.
It's a good thing you left the Catholic Church, so you don't have to.
I don't have to
worry
do
about
that anymore. That's right.
You haven't. I mean, are you in a good mood? It's Bobby Bonilla Day, man.
We almost made it through the entire morning drive without bringing it up.
Did you really?
Almost. It was like the second to last segment. Yeah.
This is $1.193 million that he gets paid. His 15th installment from the Mets.
Okay, good for him.
And he has made $17,898,723 so far from the Mets. He is still owed more than $10 million over the next 10 years. So, good for Bobby.
Good for Bobby.
Bobby Bonilla Day. I mean, I think it's a fun little novelty that comes around every July 1st. Why not?
Sure.
Would you have made a similar deal?
Oh, sure. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
They're going to pay you more money to take it later.
Yeah, why not? And you keep getting it? Yeah, sure. He's still alive, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I never see him interviewed or anything like that. Like,
no.
Goes to the mailbox and gets his check.
It's the day we go to his grave and lay over $1 million on it.
Does he still get paid if he dies? If He dies.
Probably goes to like Mrs. Bonilla.
Yeah, I would assume that it goes to his estate.
Yeah, makes sense.
I would hope so, or that's a really bad contract.
Yeah. Mets aren't. Mets and Yankees both are really just kind of stinking it up right now.
Yeah. Are they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm on a Rangers level of stink, so I don't know how bad that those teams are doing comparable to my team.
Well, at least the Royals are red hot, right?
Not really.
No, they're not.
They were that one weekend when
they popped up for that Rangers
played
series.
The Rangers.
And that's our summer.
The Astros are hot, not quite as hot as the Tigers, but the Astros are playing good ball. You know, I was thinking of a statement today for our Tell Me I'm Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Doing heavy research in the office before I came in here.
Heavy research.
Okay. And I was thinking about how, boy, this is going to make Choice so mad right now.
I'm already mad, so go for it.
Like, the city of Houston, sports-wise, is just dominating the Metroplex right now. I mean, when you Astros playing so much better than the Rangers. The Texans have some momentum. They have a quarterback that they believe in. They have hope. Everybody doesn't hate their owner and think their coach is a yes man.
The Rockets brought in a superstar, didn't trade one away.
Yeah, Mavs, have their fan base mad at them. The Rockets' fan base is excited.
Plus, they drafted Cooper Flagg.
Plus, they were the number 2 team in the West, even though they got bounced in the first round. So it's just, it feels like Houston's really putting it to the Metroplex right now.
First, I don't think that makes me too upset because they're not winning anything out of it. I mean, the Astros have won, but the Rangers have a more recent championship.
Okay.
The Astros have one that doesn't have the taintedness to it. Mm-hmm. The Rockets thing is like, I look at it as, man, you guys screwed up in the playoffs. You had the Rockets were the Western Conference favorite.
I mean, they're a little ahead of schedule, though, don't you think, with how young they are?
Possibly, sure. But they didn't live up to expectations for the playoffs. Didn't. But they did make a big splash there with KD. And the Cowboys and Texans, I mean, the Cowboys are always going to have high expectations. And, there's no question the Texans are in a better spot than the Cowboys right now. So I don't feel like it's far and away a runaway for the Houstonians right now. We can continue this next.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Alongside Jamie Lent, I'm Chois Woodman. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. We are less than 2 months out from football season, Jamie.
Let's go.
That was very enthusiastic of you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you I know you listen to like every second of this show, even when you're not on. So I'm sure you heard Brett McMurphy's bowl projection for the Red Raiders.
What is it?
It is the Pop-Tarts Bowl against Louisville.
We all get a box of Pop-Tarts?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they do actually do that for the people that are, or maybe the media that's in attendance. Would you, Snead asked if you'd take that right now. Because Pop-Tarts Bowl is,
right?
It's basically your second place Big 12 team. So it means you lose in the Big 12 championship, most likely.
Yeah, last year this was Iowa State versus Miami, who was the first team out, and then Iowa State was obviously the Big 12 championship loser.
So these are two of the, it would be two of the top teams that didn't get into the college football playoff.
Any other year besides this one,
yeah.
I would have said yes.
I agree with you. Yeah, I'm not.
Not this one.
I'm not taking it. It would be the best bowl game. It would be the best record likely you've had in a really long time. All of the above, but I'm not taking it. I think you might be able to be there without any.
I just feel like you're all in.
Yeah.
I mean, you are all in to get to this college football playoff. And just spending the money and the resources and putting the effort into it and putting together such a good roster and then saying, yeah, it's okay. We'll be happy if we come up just a little short. I would still call it a great season. I would surely not call it a failure or anything like that, but I wouldn't take it. I also feel like it's almost disrespecting the team and saying that, well, that says I don't think they can get to the college football playoff. And when I look at the Big 12 right now, it feels wide open to me. And so I guess I'm sitting here going, why not us?
I think you're exactly right on all those fronts. It is kind of disrespecting, and it is. I think as we near the season, get closer and closer, we've kind of had to talk ourselves into, or not necessarily talk ourselves into, but kind of talk of, okay, what are the expectations? As we get closer, Jamie, I think a lot of people are saying that if you don't make the playoff, there's going to be at least some disappointment. I'm not saying it's going to be a failure. I'm not saying, I think it started off with you got to get to Arlington, and now I feel like it's look at what you've done. I mean, you are what you just said. You are all in to get to the playoff. Mm-hmm. And so I think I'm not saying anything short of that's going to be, terrible or bad or whatever, but that's what your goal is, and that's what you need to shoot for.
And man, it stinks that we're talking about the loser of the conference championship game still not being one of the 12.
Yeah. I think, again, the only way you're getting two teams in is if one of them if the losing team of the Big 12 had 11 regular season wins.
Yeah. And there are people out there that and I understand what their point is. They're saying things such as you've been a 7-5, an 8-4 team, and all of a sudden you're acting like you should be in the college football playoff. That's crazy. Everything from the past does not matter now. Mm-hmm. What in the past, you were the team that could claim to be the underdog. Mm-hmm. You're not the underdog in this Big 12 conference.
No, you're going to be wearing a giant target on your back the whole year.
Absolutely. You're not the underdog. The report last week, we have the 6th best roster in the country. That's not in the Big 12. Yeah. That's in the country. Yeah. That means you have better rosters, supposedly, on paper, than a bunch of SEC teams and a bunch of Big Ten teams.
And a bunch of teams projected in the college football playoff, yeah.
All of that from the past I get. Why do you think you're going to make such a huge jump? Well, all of a sudden, we have the roster that other people want. Or we have a roster that other people want. It's different now. And that's why if you win one game more than last year, you'll say, okay, all right, still a positive step in the right direction. Or if you get to 10 wins and you're saying, hey man, we don't have that many 10-win seasons. We should be happy. Yes, that's fair, but it's different. You have put so much into this. So much.
They've said as much. I mean, if you've read the CBS Sports article that
Coach McGuire has said that.
Yeah, I mean, he said it. He said it's different. He said we're going all in. I mean, Cody Campbell said the same thing. You've had plenty of people. Kirby Hocutt said the same thing. You're using this one season, this one window of opportunity where all of the rules align where you can do this to try to put yourself on the map. And
this is not another step in the right direction year. This is get there now.
Yeah. Yeah. And what the question is, where is there? Is there Arlington? Because I still think that's absolutely great season, and it's something absolutely. You've never done. I get that so is the college football playoff. But if you get to Arlington, play in the Big 12 championship game, it's something you've never done. And it's kind of a sad statement, but
and it's kind of what we've said before as far as if not now, when?
Yeah.
It feels like the stars have aligned.
Yeah, because, I mean,
we gave them all jerseys.
The Big Ten, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Big Ten commissioner is sitting there talking yesterday about, we need expansion of the college football playoff, and we need to get this to more of a pro model. And, the headline takes in, okay, what, more of a pro model? We want to actually let the thing on the field, the product on the field determine where we're getting to? No. I mean, he's talking about, a pro model, but we still get to pick and choose 4 Big Ten teams and 4 SEC teams and this and that. That's not a pro model.
That's not a pro model.
No, that's still choosing.
It's pro Big Ten model.
Exactly. Yeah, it's still that. So I think it is as important as ever, Jamie, that the Big 12 does something. And Texas Tech specifically, if you're the one that's positioned to do something. Because if you do have the best roster, and I do think Texas Tech has the best roster in the Big 12. Now, having the best and putting it all together are two different things. But the Big 12 needs someone to step up because you're never going to gain that respect without just winning. And I don't know if that means you've got to go win a national championship as a league or what gains the respect you need. Is that the only thing you can do?
Well, or it would be that or a few years of the Big Ten / SEC not winning.
Yeah. So I don't know.
That doesn't seem super likely.
I don't know if it's, hey, you got to get 2 Big 12 teams in the playoff and both of them need to make it to the Final Four. Something has to happen. What stinks is the Big 12's in a position where you've got to go make a splash. You've got to go make a splash as a league, and you're set up already behind the 8 ball because the Big Ten and SEC are already going to get 4 or 5 teams in the playoff. They're set up to do that, so they get a lot more opportunities to make their splash. Big 12 is going to have one chance, and Arizona State was close to making some noise. I mean, they were really close and lost in double overtime last year to Texas. But if they would have done that, that would have gained some attention. But instead, you're just right there on the cusp. So the Big 12 needs Texas Tech to be good this year. They do. Because you need somebody. Sure, Utah could do it.
Utah would probably mean more just because they're a bigger brand.
In the last, they're a bigger brand, and because of what they've done in the last 10 years, So Utah, I think Arizona State, if they were to repeat as Big 12 champions, would garner respect and probably be good for the league. But you need someone to do it. I'm not sure Tech doesn't have the best roster to actually do something in the playoff if you get there. So. Yeah, I'm with you. It's an all-in season, but got to go get it done. Less than 60 days out. I think actually exactly 60 days out. It's the bottom line. More from you on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Coming up next on 100.7 The Score.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Thrilled to be part of your Tuesday. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. We will return to plenty of your thoughts. A whole lot rolling in on the chat line, so we'll catch up there in a little bit. But right now, it's time for a question.
Time now for Jamie's question of the day on 100.7 The Score. Brought to you by someone not named Jamie and presented by Connecticut of West Texas. Life's hard, your water shouldn't be.
All right, last year, we just talked about bowl projections. So that's what sparked this question. And you'd mentioned, we were going over the list, and it was like, I lost count if it was 10 or 11, but it was in the double digits projected by McMurphy, just one projection, but still, double digits.
He did have teams like UCF and OSU both making bowl games. So
I think they both came up short.
No, this year he did.
This year he did.
Yeah.
He has UCF
the one
and
he
OSU
just did for way too early.
in this year's. I think Tech has I think the Big 12 has 10 or 11 teams. I couldn't.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and count. But I was when we were talking about that, I was like, well, how many did the Big 12 get in last year? Do you guys want to take a stab at it?
I'd say 9.
It is indeed a German no. There were 9 last year.
Nice.
And there were 3 more that were 5 and 7, all probably sitting thinking we could have made this number 12.
Yeah.
Now, one of them, because the one that would have been iffy, so if it's like if you swap the win for Kansas with West Virginia, then West Virginia would be out, and then you'd be at 11.
Okay.
So you have to do some math there, but still a couple of teams like Cincinnati that struggled down the stretch.
Well,
and
Kansas. Did Kansas
yes.
win all their non-conference?
No, they lost 2
So
non-conference
Kansas could have just
games.
won one non-conference game
Yes,
and been eligible.
Yeah, they could have just not lost to UNLV and then have that quarterback transfer out like 2 games later and
Oh yeah, that guy.
been there.
Forgot about that.
Or just
Where'd that dude end up?
that's a good question. New question of the day: where did that guy? Where did he end up?
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Utah was another one that goes 5 and 7. Of course, they had several one-possession games with their defense that they probably sat there and felt like, well, could have been 6 and 6. I simply want to know.
James Madison, by the way, in case anybody cares.
Oh, the Dukes.
I'm sure he's getting a huge.
Big old NIL deal there, huh? Yeah.
I simply want to know if the Big 12 will have a double-digit number of bowl appearances this year.
Yeah, I think a lot of this does hinge how you do in the non-conference portion of the schedule, because I think you're going to have a whole lot of cannibalization again, where teams will beat each other up and be good one week and not be good the next week, and just kind of back and forth through the Big 12. You had a big old fat meaty middle to the league last year, and I think you're going to have the same this year. The question is, are you going to have teams that have struggles in the non-conference, like a Kansas or a Baylor? I mean, Baylor struggled in the non-conference last year, right? No, they struggled in conference play. Anyway.
Yeah, something that hurt Baylor was they did drop a non-conference game, but it was to Utah, with Cam Rising in for 3 quarters or however long it was.
I mean, that hurts your league right there, because it guarantees one of your teams is going to get another loss, instead of being able to pick up another win in non-conference play. So, yes, I would guess.
And I know Arizona had their own problems, but you also had the Wildcat non-conference game last year.
I'm gonna go with yes. Mm-hmm. I think the number is 11.
So you're agreeing with Brett McMurphy here and going a huge number. Mm-hmm. Who are your 11?
Just looking with last year's standings. Arizona State, yes. Iowa State, yes. BYU, yes. Colorado, no.
Okay. Wow.
Baylor, yes. TCU, yes. Texas Tech, yes. Kansas State, yes. Kansas, yes. Cincinnati, yes. Utah, yes. Is that just 10? I think that's 10. I think I miscounted.
I didn't actually go over the teams in doing that. I wound up with 11.
So I'm leaving out Colorado. I'm leaving out West Virginia. I'm leaving out Houston, Arizona, UCF, Oklahoma State.
By the way, McMurphy's number was 12, not 11. The only teams that did not make it in McMurphy's was Arizona, Cincinnati, Houston, and West Virginia. Those were the 4 that did not make it. Everybody else was in a bowl game, according to him. I think the number is 10 or more.
I'm 10.
I think it's. I would probably lean towards 11, because I think you're going to be a little bit more top heavy this year.
I like that. I think the number is 10 or more.
Yeah.
Well, did you say 10 exactly? I didn't know what you were.
I did say double digit, but then we all said our number, and then you were the only one that.
You said double digit, so yes is my answer. I think you're going to...
I wish that would have worked in math. Like, you're going through, like, all of these equations. Like, yeah, I think the answer is, like, 27 or more.
No more.
You're not incorrect. You're not right.
I don't think you're going to have an 0-9 team this year, like you had last year.
Don't either.
But I do think you're going to have a lot more around 1-8 2-7. You're going to have more of those guys this year than you did last year.
Well, you had 4 that were 2-7 and below.
Okay, well, then maybe I do think you're going to have more than 1-8s.
Yeah. Feels like if you have more than 4 2-7 or belows, it's going to be interesting.
Somewhere the math gets really difficult with 16 teams, and that's where and that's where the math of, okay, if you want to have this many teams in or a whole lot of teams, you got to do well in the non-conference and give yourself more room for error in conference play, where you can have 3 and 6 teams make a bowl game, which does happen. Teams can go 3 and 6 in the Big 12 if they went 3-0 through a portion of their non-conference schedule that's not as difficult. And I think it's about half and half when you look at the league's difficulty of non-conference schedule. There's some that are testers for sure, but I think there are some that, like Texas Tech, that have non-conference schedules that you should expect to be 3-0. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. The whole strength of schedule thing's a whole another conversation too. All right, back to the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Old Razzle Dazzle says, I'm just still flabbergasted that TCU made it to the championship in football. Another one says, TCU made it to the title game and earned no respect for the conference. Non-conference slate this year is extremely important for the Big 12. I do wonder how much TCU's encore had to do with the respect for the league.
I don't think it helped, and I think this is something that's important for Tex. Even if you get there, or if you have a Big 12 championship appearance and your game away, as far as the college football playoff goes, I think when you say, hey, Arizona State, if they get back, I think they have credibility from there on out. But if it's like Tech or let's say Baylor gets there, you have to have at least a solid season the next year to prove that it wasn't just a one-off, and TCU didn't do that, and I think that hurt them severely.
Yep, I think TCU's 5-7 following season really hurt them and hurt your credibility for the league, where people say, okay, that was a fluke. It wasn't real. Or, oh, they were able to run through that league so easily because it's not a very good league. So, this from the chat line, will you or Cody be more disappointed in a 9-win season this year? Well, I didn't invest as much money as him, so probably him. Another one says, with the money that Cody Campbell spent, what's the minimum number of wins Joey has to achieve to keep his job? We've had this question about once a week for the last few months. I don't know that you put it's probably not a number that you want us to say because it may make you mad. I don't. 6?
Yeah, I mean, if he went to a bowl game in any way, I don't think he's gone.
Yeah, I think it takes not making a bowl game to even get into that conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be happy times, and people are going to be
7-5 this year and 7-5 again next year.
Yeah,
that's
But as far as this year and the direction you're headed, it'd take a shocking season for something like that to happen. And this one, team name, the Belly Button Lints.
It's not very original. I'm just going to tell you that.
Really?
It's not at all.
I've never heard that one.
Yes, I've been called Jamie Belly Button Lint for my whole life.
Yeah. I can imagine.
And it's Lent with an E. It's not Lint with an I. It's not Belly Button Lint.
Lint is lends itself Lent. Towards an E more.
It's Lent.
Lint. It's the bottom line on 100.7 The Score.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.